It has been a minute, but you know what we're bringing back? We're bringing back Subbie Supper. And we're bringing it back like full force because today I'm going to share with you 3 recipes from y'all that we have found to be amazing. Hey y'all, I'm Mandy, and this is Mandy in the Making. If you are new here, you may not have seen Subbie Supper yet. It just stands for Subscriber Supper, meaning that one of you sent in one of your favorite recipes and we're going to give it a try. The first recipe that we're going to try this week is a pot roast, and it's done a little bit differently than I've ever done it, so we're going to give it a try from Sabrina. Sabrina is also from South Carolina. Hey neighbor. And she's been married to her husband Ray for 29 years. She said it's just her husband, and their Yorkie named Penny. She sent me some pictures of Penny watching Mandy in the Making, looking for Gracie. She said as soon as Penny hears my voice, she comes running just to sit there and watch and see if she can see Gracie. I love that so much. What makes this particular recipe unique is it's using golden mushroom soup, which I don't know if I've ever used it, or if I have, it's been very rarely. So let's make it. Okay, so we're gonna use 2 golden mushroom soups, 1 pack of the beefy onion soup mix, and you can use 2 small cans of evaporated milk, or you can use this larger can. You're just not gonna use all of it. So this is 12 ounces. I'll use like 3/4 of this. We will save the rest of this for our mashed potatoes. Let's just whisk all of that together. Now, she mentioned that you could do some roasted veggies with this. I am gonna just throw some carrots in with this to cook all day. Of course, we'll have the mashed potatoes. She also mentioned she likes to add sauteed mushrooms to hers at the end. My grocery store was out of mushrooms. So we are not gonna do that today, but that would be a great addition. I've got 2 small chuck roasts here. Each one is like 1.5 pounds. That's why I'm doing 2 of them. You wanna do 2 to 3 pounds. I just figured 2 small ones would be fine. And like I mentioned, I'm just gonna add in some carrots. I got these from Trader Joe's the other day. I had about half an onion left from a couple of nights ago. And I'm gonna throw some extra pepper in there too. This is gonna go on high for the rest of the day. It is a Saturday. She said you could do low for 10 or high for about 8 hours. So that's what we're gonna do, and we'll see you back in a little bit. Our house smells amazing. I cannot wait to eat this. Super tender. All right, let's do this.
Time to eat.
It is time to eat.
Yes, it is. So off the bat, the juice, the gravy,
Right.
looks amazing in this. Let's get a hold of that. Oh man, yes, that is very delicious. So the gravy really does add a lot of moisture, flavor that you normally don't get when you have a roast.
Okay.
Because most of the time we don't.
Well, we do like the Mississippi pot roast. That's probably our most popular one that we do here. But how would you compare this one to the Mississippi pot roast?
Well, the gravy is outstanding. That's what makes this stand apart from the rest of them. Is that if you're, a lot of times you skip the gravy in pot roast. Well, some people do.
Yeah.
Because it's real fatty,
Yeah.
and you have to kind of play with it a little bit to make it more like a gravy. But this is already ready to go. I mean, it's got the flavors packed in there. Really good.
Good, I'm glad. I used the rest of the evaporated milk in with our potatoes, and then I baked this ciabatta bread. So I'm going to dig in. I'll let y'all know my thoughts, but Sabrina, this guy, yeah, he's happy. Our house smells so good. It's all about the gravy, baby. He went back and got him some more gravy. I had not added enough.
Oh, man. Then you can just sop it up.
There you go. All right. Well, Sabrina, we really appreciate this because I can see this being very popular in the fall and winter in our house. I love the flavors of this. I love a Mississippi pot roast, but this is a little more traditional, but like with a twist on traditional.
Good.
So we love it. Thank you. We're back with the commentator.
Let's commentate.
All right, I've got a couple of comments. I don't have my glasses on, so give me a second. Gotta pull it way far away. We're opposite. He has to pull things closer to his face. So when he hands me something to look on his phone, he puts it like right up at my face, and it's just pure blur. and I have to do this number.
She's like,
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Let's see.
show me what you're working with.
All right. Oh, this is a good one. It's a question, and hopefully you can answer it.
Oh boy, I'm nervous. All right, here we go. Donna Hart asks, in your Tex-Mex chili, is the chorizo spicy hot? She says she's never tried it. So chorizo is kind of spicy.
Yeah.
So it's on more of the spicy end of things.
I would say it's like a medium spice.
Yeah.
It's
medium.
definitely not blow your mouth up hot.
Yeah.
But
It might be depending on which kind you get too.
and I guess how sensitive you are to spice.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
if you're very sensitive to spice, probably skip chorizo. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I love some chorizo. It's
got so much flavor.
It's just so good, so flavorful. Lots of good spices in it. It's
Yeah.
definitely a different. It's got a different texture to it than,
Yes.
I guess,
Any other type of sausage, really.
traditional sausage.
Yeah, like a breakfast sausage or
Yeah.
anything like that. It's a very different texture.
Yeah.
Like a smoother texture.
Yeah, it's smoother. It's it's more of a ground fall apart. More of the sausage that we have around here kind of sticks together more, I think.
Yeah, and it's a little more chunky.
But it's more.
This is a little smoother.
It's a little more.
Yeah. We just got home from church. I'm going to put our next Subbie Supper in the oven. It's very simple. And I'm excited because, there's been so many claims over this is the best mac and cheese. So I've made several the best mac and cheeses over the years. And this one comes from Bailey. Bailey sent this in back in 2022. I was just going through all of the different Subbie Suppers and I found this one. She labels this as the best and easiest mac and cheese. Bailey is a registered nurse working in the OR in Brandon, Mississippi. At the time that she sent this in, she had just lost her beagle Grace and they had just gotten a new kitten named Fitz. So that kitten is now at least a couple of years old. She said that I, at that time, had made a mac and cheese that was labeled the best. So she tried it and she said while it was great, it didn't beat her dad's mac and cheese. She said she takes this to family gatherings. It does make a good bit, which is why I chose to make it today on Sunday. I can send some home with some of our small group members. I've got the recipe printed here. It does look very easy. So we're gonna give it a shot. I hope that I understand all of the directions correctly. Let's do it. Very important to the instructions. She said that you can use a ceramic or glass dish, but it doesn't come out as great as when you use an aluminum pan. She said she uses a 10 by 14. This one is a 13.5 by 9 5/8. It's a lasagna pan. I got it from my grocery store. I'm gonna wash this really quickly and we're gonna assemble everything. All right, to get started, we need to preheat the oven to 375. Now we just throw everything in here. I've got an entire box of elbow macaroni. You need 16 ounces. You need 16 ounces of shredded Colby Jack cheese. You also need 16 ounces of, let me turn this around, cheddar cheese, sharp cheddar. I got the creamy melt because I love that one and it melts so good. A lot of cheese. Before we put in our liquid, I need to go melt this half a stick of butter. We have 3 cups of milk. We need 2 cups of heavy cream, which is this entire container. And then we have this half a stick of butter that we melted. Now we just mix all of this together. I mean, she's right. This is the easiest mac and cheese. You just dump it all in here. Oh, I also need to add some salt and pepper, so let's do that too. It just says salt and pepper to taste, so I'm just guesstimating here. It does not say to cover. So we're gonna stick it in the oven just like this for 1 hour at 375. Okay, it has been an hour. It's gotten kind of brown, not brown, but it's crisping up on top for sure.
All right, here we go.
LB
LB1460. Thank you for 5 recipes. Stephen was too funny on the rice. I see one now. I now know to add a bit more wild rice to the soup recipe thanks to Stephen. Yeah, I remember that. I was trying to find
He was trying to find it, but let me give you a heads up. When I scooped out the soup, I didn't dig to the bottom, so the rice kind of settles to the bottom. There was plenty of rice in that recipe.
You gotta get down in there.
It was just that I kind of skimmed the top for his, and he didn't get any rice in it. But when we had leftovers from that dish, it was the creamy chicken wild rice soup. There was lots of rice in there. So just when you make it, make the same amount, do the same amount of wild rice, but just scoop to the bottom so you can get some rice in your soup too. But yeah, it was quite comical when he said, oh, I found one. He found one little grain of rice. It smells cheesy, I will give it that. And I have to say, about halfway through, I thought, was I supposed to cover it? But she didn't say to cover it, so here we are. When I make sure all of our noodles have cooked. I joined him outside and did a workout while it was in the oven. He's already come in and taken his shower. I haven't taken my shower yet, so I apologize. But I've already tasted it. I will be honest.
I'm gonna tell you what, it looks like some sure enough authentic macaroni and cheese, like the kind that you find around a very southern table. I must admit.
Careful, it's very hot.
I can tell.
Yeah.
That cheese looks like it's about like lava.
It is. I wanted to test it to make sure that the macaroni had cooked all the way through. There are a few pieces on the top that didn't cook as much.
Oh my goodness. Oh, wow.
Did you get a crunchy macaroni
I
in there?
did, but it's okay.
Yeah, there's not many. There's
I mean,
just...
I think I only broke two or three teeth, so I'm all right. It's no big deal. I've got more teeth. No, but this is delicious. There's some ranch dressing in there, ain't there? Some kind of a flavor is going on up in here.
Just milk and cheese and salt and
Oh
pepper.
my gosh. Wow.
Y'all.
Creamy, cheesy, flavor, like massive flavor in this macaroni. This is the best macaroni and cheese we've ever had. I mean, I'm just telling it like it is.
Get over here. You're off camera.
Look, I can't help it. You don't slide it that way every day. I know. After about 500 times, I ain't learned it. I don't know how.
You're so mean. So this is the best?
It is really good, sweetheart. Bailey,
Bailey.
you done did it. You brought us the best. Bailey's best macaroni and cheese. Is there egg in this?
There's a half a stick of butter in it.
I'm not mad.
He just burned all his calories so he can eat this.
I got them all back.
It ain't low fat, that's for sure. Y'all.
No.
Okay.
That's one of them go backers. You don't go back more.
I will have...
Because you'll be...
Well, you better not go back more. It's not good for you.
Doctor be mad at you.
Yeah. You definitely need to make this for a big crowd, but I will agree with Bailey. This was the easiest mac and cheese I've ever made. And oh my stars. Yeah, it's good. Shoo, y'all, I'm about hangry. You ever get hangry? Where it's to that point where you're about to be angry because you're so hungry? We're there. We're there, friends. So it's time to cook dinner. Tonight's Subbie Supper comes from... Did I say that right? I think I said Subbie Supper. Tonight's Subbie Supper comes from Autumn. I've been chatting back and forth with Autumn in email because I had a couple of questions just to verify her recipe. But Autumn is a stay-at-home mama living in Eastern North Carolina. She is married to her high school sweetheart, Josiah, and they have a sweet little girl named Calliope. Josiah and Autumn met when they were 14. They got married when they were 28. At the time of their wedding, Josiah was battling lymphoma and Autumn was pregnant with their little girl. They found out about both of those things on the same day. But huge praise report. Obviously, they have their beautiful Calliope. And it has been a year now since Josiah started treatment and he is 9 months cancer-free. She said that while he was going through the treatments, YouTube was a source of comfort and they fell in love with our channel. So Autumn, thank you so much for sending in this recipe and for watching and for sharing just a little bit about your story. This one is called Ragin Cajun Chicken. Y'all, yes, I'm raging because I'm hungry, so let's do it. Steven just brought me in a Olipop. And I put it in this container, so there's a can in here. My mama and daddy gave us these a while back, and they are the best. I will see if I can find a link for these, but this is how it works. You just take the lid off. You pop your can in there. Don't drop it, Mandy. I love Poppy, but Olipop grape is where it's at. And then this inner portion comes out and it goes in the freezer. So this keeps your drink cold. love, love, love this. So helpful on those hot days when, if you're like me, I don't drink a canned drink very fast. It takes me a while. So usually it gets too warm and I'm just like, ugh, this keeps it cold. Let's preheat the oven to 400. Now, Autumn told me to get boneless, skinless chicken thighs. And I thought I had some in the freezer, but I didn't. So I ran to the store. And my store had no boneless, skinless chicken thighs. So we're just working with what we got. There's still chicken thighs, but there's bones in these things and there's skin. So we got to trim these up. So wah, wah. Before we mess with the chicken, I'm going to go ahead and chop up or slice these green peppers. She said to use 5. I'm using 3 because these are so large. I don't feel like I need 5. That part is done. Okay, so we've got our chicken here. I'm just going to try and trim this up. We have a very large baking dish. This is bigger than a 9x13. If you're using a 9x13, you may want to use 2, but I'm just going to grease that. My mic was not working, or actually it was not turned on during this portion, so I'm just gonna do a little voiceover here. I'm just seasoning my chicken. I'm using pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and paprika. I'm gonna season both sides of it. Then we're gonna add it to our greased dish. And I'm also gonna add my bell pepper in on the other side, which that's why you need a very large dish or 2 dishes because it's a lot of food going in. Then we're gonna season the bell pepper the same way. Pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and paprika. Just tossing these together a little bit. We're gonna throw some olive oil on here. And then because it is called Ragin Cajun, we've got some Creole seasoning that's about to go on. I am no longer gonna try and say this. Y'all just see what it is. It's Creole seasoning. Every time I try and say it, I say it wrong. So we're just gonna go in liberally with this. Now this has a lot of salt in it, so that's why I didn't use salt to begin with. But we're going in with this to get some great Cajun flavors. This is just gonna go in the oven at 400 for 35 to 45 minutes. All right, we've got one more commentator.
All right, this is from, it looks like Michelle Costa.
Yes.
Okay. She said, you guys remind me of my husband, myself.
And myself.
And myself, yeah.
Yeah.
I lost him 7 years ago, but watching YouTube brings it all back. Thank you.
That touched our hearts.
Yeah.
We saw that comment last night when we went out to eat. I just happened to pull up my phone and we saw that comment, and it just, we both paused and just kind of looked at each other. I can't imagine being on this earth without this guy, so I'm sure that that has been very difficult, but I'm so glad that our whatever this is has entertained you and made you think of your husband and brought you some comfort. So Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I looked at him last night and I said, you know, what we do is so much more than recipes. It's hopefully bringing comfort, bringing laughter, just bringing just warmth into your day. That's what we aim to do. Obviously, we would love for you to try these recipes because we wouldn't be sharing them if they weren't great. But on the flip side of that, we hope that we are entertaining you as well and just making you smile.
Yeah.
We were going to make it exactly like Autumn does. She just does like some buttered rice, which is totally fine. However, this guy wanted to kick it up a notch. So we're going to do our rice a little bit differently.
We're going to jazz it up a little bit.
But we've got, let me show you what we've got. We're just using up a few things that we had in the fridge. So we had like half an onion. So Steven chopped that up. We had a jalapeno. He chopped that up. We had some garlic. He chopped that up. We've got some butter. We've got some seasonings. So we're going to saute these and then we'll put rice in with some chicken broth and just cook all of that together as our base to lay all of our chicken and veggies on.
You gotta melt it.
It's melting.
Someone said, please cut that up a little bit better.
In goes the garlic. He's just kind of infusing that butter with the garlic. Adding some more butter.
I ain't gonna tell nobody else about this extra butter. Listen, when you're in the kitchen, you're cooking, you gotta use your nose.
Yeah.
I mean, you just got to. If it smells good, it's probably gonna taste good.
And he's adding in our onion and our jalapeno. We're gonna saute those for just a few minutes till they're good and soft before we add our rice and our chicken broth. Oh, and of course, a few seasonings. We've got some garlic powder going in, some paprika, We've got a little bit of dried thyme going in and some black pepper. Now that those have sauteed for a couple of minutes, about 3 minutes, he added in 2 cups of chicken broth. We're gonna let that come up to a boil. He's also gonna add a bay leaf.
Couple bay leaves.
Oh, 1, 2. It has come up to a boil really quickly. So we're gonna add in 1 cup of rice. We already rinsed it really well. And we're just gonna let this simmer for what, 20, 25 minutes?
Something like that, about 20 minutes or so.
Okay.
Pop the lid back on and then reduce the heat to about medium-lowish. Somewhere around there, low, medium, low.
And that works out because we've got about 20 minutes left on the chicken, so we should be good. It has been 20 minutes. The timer is about to go off for the chicken, but our rice is done. I'm removing our bay leaves. Oh my goodness. I wish y'all could smell it because it smells amazing.
Ragin' Cajun.
That's right, baby.
First things first, get into this chicken here. We got some chicken thighs. And here we go. Oh, yeah. Spicy, garlicky
Yeah.
flavor of that Creole seasoning.
Right.
A little bit of that onion powder flavor, onion seasoning that's in there, you know. Yes, very much Cajun flavored chicken for sure.
I'm so glad.
Really, really, really good.
All right, and try your rice too.
Mm-hmm.
That rice smells amazing. Oh,
Those peppers are amazing.
good.
Oh, the spice. I love it. All right, here we go. Oh, man. That is delicious.
I'm so glad.
That goes really well together.
Okay. Well, you keep eating. I'm gonna dig in because I'm
Chicken
starving.
is so good.
All right, y'all. I'll be back. Autumn. This is delicious.
Man, yeah.
The flavors are so good. All of those seasonings blend so well together, and those bell peppers, man, they're top notch.
Oh, man, yeah.
So we give this 2 thumbs up for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
This is a great simple dinner. It does not cost much to make this dinner. You don't have to have a ton of ingredients. It's all in the seasonings, really. So thank you, Autumn, for sharing this with us. We love it.
This is delicious.
It really is. Nothing going to waste
Look.
over there.
You got to pick these bones up and eat that.
You got to gnaw on them a little bit.
You
Y'all.
can't let nothing go to waste.
This is amazing. Wow. What a simple dinner.
I'm gonna tell you
Now,
right
obviously,
now.
if you don't like spice, you're going to have to skip this one because Creole seasoning has a lot of spice
Don't
to it.
skip it.
If they don't like spice,
You got to build up.
oh my. All right.
I'm going to tell you right now, there ain't nothing bland about this.
No,
This is really good.
it is. I could see this one becoming a staple in the house because it is so easy.
Not see this on the top 5.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So that's it. We brought back Subbie Supper. We're going to try and include Subbie Supper each Friday through the fall and winter. A big thank you to Sabrina, Bailey, and Autumn for all 3 meals this week. We've been eating good in this house this week. It's been delicious. If you want to send in a Subbie Supper, I always have the Google form where you can do that, linked below in my description box. Just go click on that and send in your recipe. Thank y'all for being here, and we'll see you next week. Bye.